Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, the Indian rhinoceros. It's a threatened species, and one of the reasons? Poachers are cashing in on their horns.
But this is their problem right now, is having this horn.
This young Eagle Scout took on a project that would give these cats some much-needed time in the sun, all because he loves animals.
I felt accomplished, I actually accomplished something, and it was enjoyable to see they used it.
And this breed of dog is usually found working side by side with law enforcement. We'll learn a little more about the Belgian Malinois.
They need to have some work.
This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci, and this is my trusted co-host, Zeus. Well, its name actually means nose horn in Greek. The rhinoceros can be spotted because of that big horn on its head, and you can see them coming because of their enormous size. It's one of the heftiest animals you'll find on land, and I got a rare up-close meeting with one, and you can too. You know, to get up close, Lex, with a rhino, a lot of extra skin down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're terrific animals. That's a prehensile lip, which is for browsing.
That prehensile lip is used like a finger to grab food, and Indian rhinos need a lot of that.
It feels like chopped liver in there, doesn't it? Like right here?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, it's very spongy. You have a very spongy lip.
Lex Salisbury, director of Giraffe Ranch, says this hefty herbivore eats 4% of their body weight each day. And weighing in at nearly 4,000 pounds, that's a lot of hay, fruits, and veggies, about 160 pounds a day.
And what is amazing is the eyes, and they're quite small for an animal like this.
And they cannot see you when you're, 20 feet away. They're very nearsighted.
While they may not have perfect vision, the Indian rhino does have great other senses. Their sense of smell is keen, and those huge ears can hear well too. Now, don't let their massive bodies fool you. For short distances, these rhinos can run at speeds up to 34 miles per hour. But what can't they run away from? Poachers.
Now, we know that these are endangered.
Yes.
So
There's 3,600 in the world. Found in India, Nepal, and Pakistan.
how do we save them, Lex?
Well, we stop the poaching, and right now there's plenty of habitat, but what's happening is people are killing 5 white rhino a day in South Africa, and they've got to stop the poachers. And the problem with that is the criminal syndicates are running the poaching operations, and it's a difficult task.
One of the key characteristics of a rhinoceros, their horns. Some species have 2, while the Indian rhino here has just 1. But it is that horn that may cause their downfall. The horns are used in folk medicine, believing that they have healing powers. But scientific evidence shows that there's no medicinal value in rhino horns.
Okay.
And this is made of the same stuff as your fingernails, but it's worth $90,000 a kilo on the black market.
But it is places like Giraffe Ranch that gives visitors an up-close look at what Lex would call these gentle giants. Visitors are able to feed and interact with them, seeing their playful nature. He hopes unique interactions like this will keep the species in the minds and the hearts of visitors. After all, rhinos have been around for more than 50 million years, and he wants to see that number continue to grow in size.
There are 5 different species of rhinoceros found in the world. 3 of those species are critically endangered, the highest risk category, while the other 2 species, including the Indian rhino, is vulnerable or near threatened. There are many discussions about how to stop the poaching of these animals. One option rhino advocates are looking at is removing the valuable horns themselves, which would save the rhino's life and hopefully make the rhinos worthless to the poachers. Closest living rhino relatives are actually zebras and horses. They are all odd-toed mammals. This next story proves if you set your mind to something, you can make a difference, like this next young man shows us. We all know cats love to get up high, and when Grayson noticed the cats at his local Humane Society didn't quite have that option, he thought he would build them just what they needed.
When Grayson Graham needed to complete a service project for his Eagle Scout troop, he decided to help the animals at the Gulf Coast Humane Society.
I saw a bunch of cats in the cat room and they're on top of these boxes, and I just thought it'd be a great idea to maybe like put some shelves right under the window so they could look outside.
Soaking up the warm sun and catching a few cat naps is now something these cats are able to do. With help from his carpenter neighbor Tim, they got to work, building shelves under the windows.
This is me and my neighbor measuring out and scaling the project.
But Grayson didn't stop there. He thought the animals here could use even more help.
They're in need of food too, so I just emailed friends and family and we collected a bunch of food for them, cats and dogs too.
So Grayson collected donations and was able to purchase dog and cat food.
So this is the food drive collection and a flyer that I emailed to a bunch of people to collect food. And we actually raised over 1,600 pounds. This is me collecting the food at PetSmart.
He also raised $650.
So everything that we've said, well, we need this or we need that, he's gone out and he's gotten it. But again, besides what he's accomplishing for himself, for his Eagle Scouts, he's also spreading awareness for us about what's going on. And this younger generation, for them to know about Adopt, Don't Shop and animal welfare and all the positive things that go along with that, he's helping spread that message.
And getting the message out to young people about being an animal advocate is so important.
The problem is not going away. We're not going to solve it in our lifetime. We really need to educate the younger generation on the spay-neuter, on adoption policies, on all those things, so that as they grow up and develop families and they're going to think adopt, don't shop first. They're going to think spay-neuter first. The more we can educate the children, the more the children then can share that message, and then as they grow up, continue on with that message.
Grayson says he plans on continuing to help out his local Humane Society by volunteering. Way to go, Grayson! It has a long tail, sharp claws, and a forked tongue. After the break, we will get up close to one big lizard, and some of these monitor lizards will grow longer than Zeus and I put together. We'll check them out next.
The crested caracara is listed in Florida as threatened. Their numbers have declined due to many factors, including illegal hunting. Help support efforts to eliminate the threat of illegal hunting, not just for birds of prey such as the caracara, but for all wildlife. Always alert authorities if you see people hunting illegally, or if you see wildlife parts such as feathers being sold illegally.
Yeah.
People have asked me what it'll cost to restore all the corals back the way they remember. But I have to ask them, what will it cost if we don't do anything?
For thousands of years, we've been humans' best friend. You've been through a lot, and we've been right there with you. A dog is part of the family, a confidant, and a friend who always knows how to get into your heart. So what happens to our beloved companions when we can no longer care for them? This is why we've created Dante's Den, an innovative, state-of-the-art facility that will provide care for up to 100 dogs.
Dante's Den is a community for joyful dogs.
Millions of Americans face uncertainty when planning for the future of beloved pets who may well outlive them. Dante's Den is a charitable organization, so in whatever capacity you can, please lend your support so that we may continue this most wonderful work.
Dante and I would like to thank you for watching and for also opening up your hearts to our wonderful community of joyful dogs.
Learn about the many ways you could become involved by visiting dantesden.org.
Welcome back. This kind of lizard is something you won't find outside your garden or around your plants, which is probably a good thing. The black-throated monitor is one big lizard that surprisingly has a fairly calm temperament. Kara, I have the most precious baby here who's just kind of hugging me. Who do we have here?
We have a couple of black-throated monitors. Now these are the largest of the 4 rock monitors that there are. These are babies. These guys will get to be about 7 or 8 feet long.
Oh my, you're gonna be a big baby. Oh my goodness.
And as you can see, they are semi-arboreal. They come to us from Tanzania. That's where they're native to. And they're semi-arboreal, as you can see. And they use all of their different mechanisms to hunt. They do climb fairly well, and they use this big tail to help them balance when they run. And if you can see him stick his tongue out.
He's got actually quite a beautiful tongue. It's very lavender.
Yeah, they're very, very pretty. And they actually use that tongue to smell. So they'll stick their tongue out and gather a bunch of particles and chemicals in the air. They'll bring them back into their mouth and analyze them. And then they know what's around them, and if they smell something they want to get, they can find it and track it down. Because their tongue is forked, if there's more particles on this side of the tongue than this side, they'll know whatever they're hunting went that way, and they can follow it that way.
And I was going to quickly find out exactly what they hunt.
Now, we have had a lot of iguanas on the show. Is this part of the same family or 2 different families?
They're 2 different families because iguanas are vegetarians, but these guys are strictly carnivore.
Oh, so they love hosts. Okay.
And I was right, but for a very different reason.
Now, you know, mine, who is right now the greatest behavior in the world, is just really hugging me. Why? Because I'm warm?
Exactly. These are reptiles. Reptiles are cold-blooded. They cannot regulate their body temperature. So if it's colder outside, they're going to be more lethargic. They're not going to be wanting to move around a lot. They're not going to want to expend a lot of energy. But our bodies are 98 degrees. We are warm all the time, so we are a big warm tree to them.
These monitors eat birds and small animals and are very efficient hunters. But they're also known to be opportunistic.
One of the things that they love is dead prey, carrion prey. The deader the better. The more odor it's giving off, the more rotten it is, the more they're attracted to it. And they'll locate it down with their tongue. You just saw? Oh, come on. Yeah.
There you go.
They'll locate it down with that tongue, and they'll eat it, and they need to be very, very warm to digest it. They need to be about 160 degrees to be able to digest all that food.
These monitors seem so relaxed. So I wondered, would they make a good pet?
If you want to get into handling reptiles, definitely start with a leopard gecko or a bearded dragon, and you work your way up from that. Because if you get an 8-foot-long carnivorous monitor, that can be very dangerous for anybody. And then if it gets loose, it can be dangerous to the environment as well.
Wise words to live by. If you like reptiles, there are certainly those that make good pets. So be sure to do your research before your purchase. Rock monitors are intelligent, and according to an experiment at the San Diego Zoo, they have the ability to count to as high as 6. Putting out a number of snails, they could actually detect if a snail was missing. This working dog is tasked with some important jobs. The U.S. Secret Service is said to use this breed to guard the White House. We'll introduce you to the Belgian Malinois next.
The crested caracara is listed in Florida as threatened. Their numbers have declined due to many factors, including illegal hunting. Help support efforts to eliminate the threat of illegal hunting, not just for birds of prey such as the caracara, but for all wildlife. Always alert authorities if you see people hunting illegally, or if you see wildlife parts, such as feathers, being sold illegally.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
When it comes to search and recovery or detecting explosives or narcotics, this breed is one top dog. They require constant training and love a challenge, which is one reason why the Belgian Malinois are one of the main breeds chosen by law enforcement agencies around the United States. Connie, we have such a beautiful girl here, Borte.
Right.
And what breed is she?
So she's a Belgian Malinois. They're one of the 4 Belgian breeds.
Mm-hmm.
The Belgian Shepherd is all black. Its real name is the Groendael. The Belgian Malinois is this one. The Belgian Tervuren is the long-haired, dark mahogany and fawn, long-haired. And the Belgian Lacanois is the curly-haired one, which there are very few in the United States. They're just starting to, be shown or used in the United States.
I grew up with a Belgian Shepherd.
So you grew up with the black one.
Yes, I went with the black
right,
one.
Right.
Now, tell us about this girl, because she's very, very regal, very well behaved, but she's young.
She's not really young. She's 6, actually.
Okay.
She is, she's a great dog. She's my working dog. She does obedience, she does tracking, she does agility. We did some herding with her, but not so much. My other Malinois liked to herd. This one prefers lamb chops. So we didn't do too much with the herding. So they are serious working dogs. Unfortunately, a lot of them have come into rescue since people see them with police. They're probably the #1 police dog now because of their intensity. And unfortunately, homeowners don't recognize that intensity is for a purpose if you're working a police dog, not for a homeowner dog.
The Malinois was originally bred as a herding dog, working farms by rounding up sheep. But in the United States, you'll likely see this breed working side by side with law enforcement.
Very different, very intense. Way more intense than a German Shepherd, as a rule. Now there are some real heavy-duty working line Shepherds, and way more, really more active, really need to have a job. So there are many American-bred Shepherds that can be homeowner dogs. The Malinois, as a rule, has been bred for years and years to be a working dog, and so they need a job.
And because these dogs are smart, training needs to continue throughout this breed's life. The Malinois thrive on new challenges.
They are termed not so much a companion as a partner. They're really more your partner. They need you, and they need to have a symbiotic relationship. This is what we're doing, this is how we're doing it, this is the way the game is played.
Still ahead on Animal Outtakes, some of your animal questions are answered. Ask the Vet is next. Stay with us.
Consumer Cellular makes it easy to stay in touch with family and stay within our budget.
Now our cell phone bill is only a fraction of what it used to be.
Our average customers get everything they need for about $25 a month, and plans start at only $10 a month with no contracts.
Consumer Cellular has a great choice of phones. Check out my new one.
I picked this simple phone.
I used my son's old smartphone. Kept my number, too.
Consumer Cellular has been an approved AARP provider since 2008, and members get exclusive discounts.
It's a good thing Consumer Cellular is always there, because sometimes I need a little help.
Sometimes. We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service among non-contract wireless providers.
Over the years, we've seen a lot of change.
We actually use change.
Luckily, there are some things we can still afford.
Like Consumer Cellular.
Stop paying too much for wireless service. Switch to Consumer Cellular. And with our 30-day risk-free guarantee, it's easy. Call 1-800-920-3084. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
That's little Lexi Lou. Here she is.
She is a little Yorkie teacup. She's about a year and a half, and she weighs about 3.5 pounds.
She just loves to kiss you. She just loves to kiss. And the first thing Bev says in the morning when she wakes up, she says, "Come and give Mama a kiss." And she'll jump right up and run right over and give her a kiss.
She stands on my chest every morning and kisses me, and I scratch her neck, and she's very verbal when she's hungry. 11 o'clock at night, unfortunately, she'll stand on my chest and start barking at me, and I have to get out of bed and go give her something to eat. Because she doesn't have particular dining times. She kind of eats when she wants to. Yorkies, I think, are a little temperamental when it comes to their diet. You find a food that they really like, and then she's really hot for it for a while, and then all of a sudden she didn't want anything to do with it, and we had to find something else that appeals to her.
I've got a sling that goes over my shoulder, and it's like a little bag. She just goes down in it. When we go to restaurants or hotels, we just put her in there, and everybody thinks I have a broken arm. And then every once in a while her head will pop out, and then everybody, we're halfway through the meal, so it's too late for them to throw us out.
I want to point out that I have not pierced my dog's ears. These little stones that are on her ears. Our groomer, Metro Pet Salon, grooms her, and they apply a little dot of glue, and then they put the stone on her ears, so her ears are not pierced.
She has different color every week.
Yeah, and then she has a little bow tie here with a little heart that has her name on it and a telephone number, just in case she gets away from us. She's a very quiet dog. She's not very yappy. I know sometimes people think Yorkies are little yappy dogs, but she's really like a little person. We call her our grand puppy because we have no grandchildren yet. Well, on occasion, you've taken him, taken her to home visits when he visits his patients.
I make house
at
visits,
night.
and sometimes I'm watching her, and I'll bring her in, and she's, I'll have her in the bag when I'm checking the patient, and and she's, loves everybody. I've never seen anybody she didn't like. She just likes everybody, and she's not afraid of anybody or any dogs. She just thinks she's a Great Dane.
I think when, as adults, as we grow up in our lives and our children leave, we have this void where we want to kind of nurture. And the other dogs were fabulous dogs, but she is just like a people person. I mean, she wants to be with you all the time. So it's kind of a way of taking care of someone, when your children are gone. It's kind of makes you feel good.
I look forward to coming home every day so I can see her, because she's always happy to see you.
I think whenever we're stressed out, I think she is our calming influence. So she makes us calm down and appreciate the fact that, you know, she's such a great dog and we love having her with us and be involved in our lives.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org.
Now we go to Dr. Anne Chauvet, who's going to explain the emergency room and what you should expect.
So coming to an emergency room is something very, very stressful because you are coming usually not at a time that is convenient for you. You may have taken time off work. It's the middle of the night. Perhaps you couldn't go to that party that you booked. Either way, it's stressful. You don't have your records, your pet is sick, vomiting, and some stranger, probably someone who just got out of school, is trying to tell you that you're going to be spending $500 to $800 to begin the workup. Well, here's the story. When you come in, we have to assume the worst for your pet. That is our job. We want to make sure that your pet is safe and that we don't go into the minimum mode because it could be so quickly costing you a life, your pet's life. So we're going to automatically usually recommend the basics. And the basics in an emergency room include the exam, radiograph of abdomen or chest, depending on the problem, and blood work. It is very difficult for us to play the guessing game, so we definitely want to be sure of what we're dealing with. Then after that, we'll come back to you and let you know. If you come to us and tell us that your pet ingested some rat poison, for example, then we're simply going to take your pet away from you and begin working very, very fast. So when we come out and we serve you a bill of $800, it's very scary, but we also usually give you a pet back. The other thing you need to be ready for is go to your ERs ahead of time. It sometimes feels like we have no bedside manners, but you have to understand we live a life of crisis. So we have to be ready for everything. And sometimes manners are not the first thing we're going to put on the table. It's got nothing to do with who we are, but how much we care and love those pets of yours. So go to the local ER clinics, interview them, visit them, walk through the hallways and see how things work. Preferably on a calm day where they're not too crazy, and then get an opinion, find out what they're going to charge, find out how they would process the animals. There are some subtle differences, but you need to be an educated owner.
Great advice from the doc, as usual. We hope you've had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. Zeus and I will be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks so much for watching.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. I'm peeing in my pants, but everything is perfect, right? Hello and welcome to Animal Outtakes. I'm Marcia Panucci, and this is my trusted friend, Zeus. Well, its name actually means...
Oh. He likes it on his...
Oh, there he goes.
To his feet. Look at this.
Oh, there's comfort.
Isn't that cool?
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.